Thanks for watching Wise Monkey. We'll show today what is open deck and closed deck in an engine. By the way, subscribe for a possibility of grand prize win in future. It'll come. I don't know when, but it'll come. So now this is a Honda engine, and we call it open deck. The reason is the engine head has been removed, and the reason is it's open deck. Is, as you see, these are the piston cylinders, right? Bores. Number 1 near the timing belt. Number 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the I4 engine. Of course, I4. I think it's the 2.2 H22A. Now this is open deck because these cylinders around them, this is a coolant passage all around, as you can see. They do have some well, there's coolant now, it's hard to see, but they're held together between them and also at the bottom. But the coolant runs around it and cools them, cools the engine, cools the pistons, right, going up and down, so the sleeve stays cool, which is fantastic, that the engine doesn't overheat inside. The problem is, as you can understand, this thing is vulnerable to warpage. This can warp, crack, because this is not solid wall. This is kind of all around. This is all open. So that's why they call it open deck. And a common problem of open deck is also, probably a common problem is this kind of damage to the cylinder sleeves, so as the piston rings, and resulting in low compression and knocking sound. It knocks. It's a knocking sound. Sometimes the knock sound could be also if your knock sensor, detonation knock sensor right at the back here, in this case, is faulty, which is a common case, especially this wire breaks right here, and then it cannot adjust slight knock, and then it can cause some problem, some sound. But a bigger problem is that kind of problem where knock is coming from the piston not going up and down straight nicely. It could be also the lower crankshaft bearing, that journal bearings that wears out, connecting rod bearings. But anyway, the main goal of this video is to tell what is open deck and closed deck. So this is open deck. I'll show another Honda engine now, which is, I think, closed deck. So this is another Honda engine, and this is, I think, B21A1, and I think this is the I don't know if it's fully closed deck, but at least it has all these walls around it. So coolant do go through, but the cylinder walls are actually connected to the side walls nicely. So the benefit of having closed deck is you can boost this engine and get more horsepower and longevity. I mean, it's not going to break down easily. As bad, it's not going to be as bad as the open deck. So if additional horsepower is added, bringing this from 150 to 400 horsepower, this has more chance that it will survive in the longer term, and it's easier to do that. Open deck is difficult to add additional horsepower, like boost it up. If you're lucky, it'll work. If you're not, it might actually go bad faster than expected because of this not staying steady. With higher horsepower, of course, more power is more heat, more power, more energy is into the engine, the metal, and these things do not stay stable anymore. The cylinder walls. That is the downside of having open deck. But this cools down better, of course. So at normal stock horsepower, which is like 200 horsepower or so for this one, this should survive better. But again, as you can see, the damage. I'm not going to say that's happened only because of the open deck, but open deck doesn't help. Okay, hope this helps.